Good morning. Welcome back to Tales of Life. I know it's a Wednesday. Tuesday. I can't even keep track of the days. But I've been pretty busy since the last little short video I uploaded. I was dumb enough not to take notes on any of it. But some of the big stuff was happened on Valentine's Day, in which I did my writer's thing. No big deal. Normal stuff there. A lot of talking, not a lot of writing, but I've been getting my writing in other places now. Uh, and then I hung out with a legitimate friend who isn't Victor up here. Uh, we ended up having dim sum, and that was a lot of fun. Uh, and then I went to the Valentine's Day dance my ballroom class is or put together. Um, because I wanted, why not? Unfortunately, it was quite a bit of a ways out, train and bus. Not hard to get to, just, took some time. Uh, and I ended up hanging out just for the first, hour for the dance lesson and then went home because, I expected it to be mostly old people. That's the demographic of my club as well. But this was so many old people, and I was like, eh, you know, there's no reason for me to be here. And so I went home. It was fun, just whatever. And that was last Saturday. The weekend before that, nothing big happened, just my normal stuff. I got it confused with Valentine's Day because it's me. I'm gonna get it, I got confused. I have finally started doing stuff with tutor.com. It's exactly what I expected it to be, not hard. The scheduling system's a pain in the ass and really complicated and annoying to get a hang of. And I need to talk to Joey about how to figure it out better. But that's it. That was what, those were the kind of the major events in terms of just things I did. But I guess the big other thing is in that last video I talked about how I was coming home, how I'm moving home. That's official. And I've decided that the day I'm coming home is March 14th because as I was trying to figure out how to get home, 14th, 15th-ish, something right in there. So I was trying to figure out how to get home. I realized my options were I could ship my computer, sell my monitor, ship my gorgeous painting behind me, shove everything else in a set of hockey bags, and take the Greyhound to Vancouver, and then get family to come meet me in Vancouver, or friends, or anybody. But that puts a lot of my valuable technology and one of my most important possessions that I own out of my line of sight for way too long for me to be comfortable with. So my other options were to rent a rental car at $200, $300 to get plus gas. Ugh, too much money. And it would have to be a four-door sedan, like this Taylor Civic or something, to get to Vancouver, dump all my stuff at grandma's, get rid of the rental car, and then have family come get me again. Or start asking friends about, and I talked to Joey, and he said he was willing to do it, but, he had to wait till spring break, which is in mid-March. And that one's even factoring in gas and everything, that's still cheaper than just about anything else. And he's totally willing to do it. I need to talk to him and plan the details now, but I was waiting to hear, do I have to be in town in March, at the 1st of March? Do I need to be in town back right then? From Taylor's mom's company, and the answer's still they're still figuring out, budgeting and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, fine, I am hard locking myself in unless they're willing to pay to move me, which would be crazy and unlikely as all hell. I am hard locking myself in to come back March 14th-ish, give or take a day or two, with Joey. Which is good because it gives me time to give the city notice. Not just notice as in, hey, I'm quitting, as in, hey, this should be my last day. And that will be nice and final. Give me a good bit of information. Gives me time to make some extra money from the city, which is nice, and things like that. So that's that. I'm coming home. And I guess the other big thing that I've been doing is I've been reading way too much of the Honor Harrington series by David Weber. I feel like I should break out a section for this, but I don't do this often enough. Which is the description I was told way back when was it's Horatio Hornblower in space. But I only knew what that meant because I had been told to research Horatio Hornblower because I was trying to learn how naval tactics worked because I'm crazy. Basically, it follows Honor Harrington, who is a captain in the Royal Manticorian Navy, Space Fleet Navy, and it's just her story. But she is very much, and a lot of the captains are very much more this Victorian idea of a captain. So, gentlemen are from... It's not so much she's from noble blood because anybody can earn their captaincy by being good. It's a more meritocracy-based system. But the expectation is still that you're, more gentlemanly or gentlewomanly, as the case may be. And just in reading it, I have learned so many things, and I love that I've been able to watch myself learn these things about how to write science fiction and military fiction and space military fiction in general. Just by reading these things, from things like the way the technology, it's not defined, it doesn't give you, the science behind why the technology is what it is, but the technology is what it is, and he uses that fact to extrapolate so much about how the military tactics and the traditions and all of these things and how society functions because of he knows very fundamentally what the technology is, which is something I've kind of waffled on. As time goes on, I've built more and more of it, and I've learned to understand it without having to worry about the science side of it. And then the other thing that's always hurt my head is that space is three-dimensional, and that makes fleet tactics really complicated. Just because it's really hard to process information in a 3D space like you would have to. And one of the things he's shown me is space might be three-dimensional, but there's going to be a lot of conventions accepted that people are just going to not think about. He takes advantage of the fact that his ships can only shoot out of on a single plane. So, in a lot of ways, that two-dimensionalizes the space combat, and I need to work on what my ships can do. But no matter what, they have to get within a certain little sphere of each other in order to fight, which means that depending on how the technology is and depending on how the conventions are, they can get anything within that little sphere I can actually understand and process in a three-dimensional space, because a ship going like this is still going to be going like that over somebody. It's nice and simple math rather than like a big 3D space kind of thing. And then his just rich sense of military tradition, which is very Victorian, like the captain comes on the ship and leaves the ship with bows and pipes, playing and things like that. The will you dine with me or dining with your staff kind of thing as a very much gentlemanly thing, a womanly thing, gentle person, has been really interesting, and really it livens up the military in a way that I didn't think it would, which means it's just more time for world building, which has been not a big deal. And then I spent a lot of this weekend doing more fun stuff, but keeping busy. But those Honor Harrington books have had me reading till 4 a.m., 7 a.m., 3 a.m., too often to over the week, so that I spent a good chunk of the weekend just recovering my sleep schedule and enforcing a no reading this book, past a certain point, which is very hard to enforce. I think that's about it. That was kind of my big revelation and the date that I was coming home. Stuff with the city was fun. We went on a field trip with the kids. That's what it was. We took them to Village Square, which is just another facility owned by the city, but it has an ice rink and a water park. And I was one-on-one with one of our kids who has some form of PTSD or something. So his mom was understandably kind of worried about it. Was his first field trip with us, and it's at a new pool and a new facility, and he's there's a good chance that he would freak out. And when we were ice skating, totally fine. The best part about being one-on-one with him in general, because I don't mind doing it, but it means it's an exhausting day. We put him with buddies, and the buddy he went with was totally happy to hang out with him the entire day and play with him, which was awesome. And then when we were doing all the ice skating and everything, all the staff were around. He's comfortable with all of the staff. He knew I was his buddy, but I was his buddy for the pool specifically, kind of in a lot of ways, because ice skating, we're all on a rink, we're all together. We split the rink in half for people who knew how to skate and didn't know how to skate. I was on the didn't know how to skate side, and I still only kind of learned how to stop. But I didn't fall on myself more than once, which is awesome. But so that was a good chunk of the day where he just kind of hung out with everybody. And then when we went swimming, it was me, him, and a friend, and we were on a pool, so I didn't, it wasn't what I expected it to have to be, or there was a chance that it would have to be me giving him a certain level of attention that didn't mind giving him, but I knew it would be tiring. But turns out it was just nice and chill, and then I went to a training afterwards, so like by the end of that day, I was just done. And that was on Thursday of last week. I've had a 4-day weekend. Could have been a 5-day weekend, but it was a 4-day weekend, which is really nice, actually. I'm not going to complain. And I got some extra stuff done in the process. But I'm going to go. I need to do laundry and, pre-work stuff because it's been a few days since I had work. So, adios. It's another one-taker.